أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I begin by praising Allah, the King of the heavens and the earth, and whatever is in between them, and whatever is in between. Alhamdulillah, He has guided me to Al-Islam. He says in the Quran that this is not a new religion. He has perfected it. So Alhamdulillah, we are in the perfect religion. We have the true belief in Allah, the one, the only one. I became Muslim when my son was born. You can calculate, we have the true belief. I became Muslim when my son was born. You can calculate, he was born December 29, 1985, 5:30 in the afternoon. When they came and put him on top of me, on my chest, the first thing I said when I saw him was, Alhamdulillah. And I thanked Allah at that moment to give me this child. And at that same moment, I said, I'm a Muslim, just like him. And I realized that I've been putting it off for a while. You know, I was reading books, I was being given information, and everything that I read fitted through my life, the way I grew up. I come from a small country in Central America, Nicaragua, and mashallah, I grew up as a Catholic. I went to Catholic school all my life, and even when I came to this country, my brothers made sure I go back to, I continue Catholic school, so they sacrificed a lot to put me through Catholic school, and I went to a very fancy school in New York. But as I was growing up and telling you about my childhood, I really truly believe that Allah chose me since I was in the womb of my mother. My mother was in a terrible fire when she was 4 months in pregnancy. And it was all third-degree burns. Mostly, I would say, 75% of her body. She herself didn't know that she was pregnant because she had some woman, millions in 1 in a million, they have this, they still have their menses and all that. So she had no idea that she was pregnant. And she was practically dying. So she survived that, and she herself thinks that God saved her because of me. Actually, 4 months pregnancy, as Muslims we know that Allah blows the soul into the womb, into the fetus. And with that, He gives 4 things. When are you going to be born? Your sustenance, your destiny, and whether you're going to die as a Muslim or not. And when you're going to die. So, knowing all these things, when I learned about Islam, it fitted the puzzle. Growing in school among statues and rituals that didn't make any sense to me, I was totally scared, walking all around the hallways, looking into different figures, images that I would see their eyes looking at me, following me. After that, I also would go home and be scared because we know that in Islam we make dua for so many things, but I didn't know why, since I was a child, I was so scared of the bathroom. I would not go to the bathroom alone. I would have to have my mother, somebody holding me, and I was a terrified child as I was growing up. My sister says I cured her from her allergies because she couldn't sleep with anyone. But because of me hanging on to her through the night, or until I fall asleep, she was able to get married. But alhamdulillah, I became a Muslim, and believe me, the only fear I have now is not to die as a Muslim. I beg Allah to let me die as a Muslim. And life as a Muslim has fulfilled everything as a human being I would want. Prayer, thinking of Allah, sharing with my sisters, even the fear of going back home after 26 years in Nicaragua. I was able to find a masjid, enjoy the Muslims over there, the halal food. And for 26 years I didn't go because I was thinking I'm going to get harassed, I'm going to have so many troubles. But alhamdulillah, I know I have a family back home. And if I need to go back there and live there, I know there's Muslims there. So you can imagine that in a small country like that, Islam exists. Halal exists. The praising of one God exists. Islamic school, Islamic cemetery. It gives me goosebumps just to think how I enjoy myself. When I got home that day, in the evening, a friend of mine from childhood came, and I asked her, can you tell me if there's a masjid here? And she said, well, I don't know, but let's look in the yellow pages. Okay? So we found in the yellow pages Islamic Center, right? I called immediately, and they gave me directions, and the sister was so amazed and happy that I was there that she said, come over Friday. So alhamdulillah, I had a driver, he knew exactly where it was, he drove me there, and we enjoyed so much that day, and introduced me to another person, another sister from Nicaragua, which the lady that received me, she was from Jordan. So I'm telling you all this because I was so happy. Believe me, I used to suffer thinking that my mom keeps calling me to come and visit her, and I keep putting it off for years. 26 years, just because I was afraid that there's no Muslim there, they're going to harass me, they're going to throw things at me, they're going to pull my hijab, they're going to say horrible things, but alhamdulillah, I even stopped traffic. I was crossing the street of my house because the shop, they had nice long skirts and pants, and I was with my niece who, she's like a Barbie doll. And when we are about to cross the street, traffic stops, and we cross. And then I said, hey, you stop traffic. She said, no, you stop traffic. So alhamdulillah, this is a funny story. Another funny story, when I was coming back home, I was carrying my carry-on, and there was a little bag, that kind of like twisted off from it. And this young man behind me goes, Madrecita, can I help you? So alhamdulillah, the story continues. When you accept Islam, it's a lifetime. So my story of becoming a Muslim, it's not ending until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants it to end. And the guidance that I have received from Allah is the best gift that I could ever get. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair.